Hello and welcome, everyone. Happy Tuesday, and welcome to Sirdork Live, a Toy Art Spotlight special of Sirdork Live. I hope you guys have been enjoying these weekly Toy Art Spotlights. We've had one like every week for a while now, and it's become a regular thing, I hope. And I know it's not super consistent on which day, but it's every week. So thanks everyone for being here, watching. If you're watching here live, like I see Certified Gamer and Fred Evans and Linda and the Jackley is here, Toy Immersion, Snap Phase, First Strike, Toy Stories. The whole squad is here. Kinney's World says hi. Hey Kinney's, how's it going? So thanks for being here. And if you're watching not live, also huge super mega thank you for watching not live. And don't worry, Jorge Venom is around. I think he's sleeping, so I see you there. I'm glad you're always asking. But I do have a very special guest I must introduce first here before I just keep yapping here. And I have him right here, Mr. Stubbs himself. Dude, how are you doing today?
Hey, nice. I'm awesome. How you all doing?
Yes, you are awesome. But thanks so much for being here. Thanks for being part of the Dork Master thing and all this awesome stuff. I'm incredibly happy to have you on and talk and
be here.
All that good stuff. So yes, give us a little something about yourself. Tell us about you as a toy photographer. Tell us a little bit about you. Like, get to know Stubbs a little bit.
Not really much to tell. Like typical stories as everybody else. You got pandemic kind of locked you in the house, so you picked up your camera and started shooting your toys. But been disabled for a few years now, so I had needed a new hobby to keep my mind from exploding on the inside. And I knew about this stuff, but never got into it. So I decided to give it a shot, and here we are now.
That's amazing. The fact that toy photography could help you basically mentally, emotionally, whatever, because even help you get through your disability. That's like the most inspiring, amazing thing to hear. And like I think toy photography is the coolest thing ever, obviously, and hearing something like that just makes me feel so good. My cat's just knocked over a chair, so if you heard that noise. But no, that's absolutely amazing, dude. So thanks for being an inspiration to us all.
Well, I don't know about that, but happy to be here.
for sure. And Linda in the live chat says, "Love your cap. Nice cap."
Yeah.
I have the same thing on my water bottle right here.
Get your badge now.
Yes, for sure.
Camera Club code.
Camera Club. Yes, Camera Club. All right, so I guess we can just hop right into it, my friend. And actually, so while we're talking about it, I'm curious, and you told us a story once about how you kind of got the name Stubbs as your nickname, and I thought it was a great story, and I'd love for you to share if you'd want to share how you got the name Stubbs. I love this story.
All right, probably about going on 6 years now. I was working security. And if everybody knows security, you're on your feet all day long, all night long, walking around. And I was having some problems with my feet. I get home one night, and I'm, getting out of uniform, whatever, go down and pull off my sock, and I noticed it's all bloody. What happened was, on the side of my big toe, some big wound, I don't even know how it happened, was there. And, being a guy, I ignored it. So for a couple of weeks or so, and it just was like rotted away, pretty much. It you could it smelled like death. No lie, it was just like horrible. And I go into work one day, and my boss, he knew about it. He didn't know what it was, but he was like, "You got to go to the hospital now, and I don't want to see you until you get this looked at and fixed." I haven't seen him since. So, so I had to have like bypass surgeries in my leg because I had clogged arteries. That's why the toe, and then it started with the big toe, and then the next two went, and then they just said, "Screw it, let's get rid of them all." And now I'm a stub.
Man, and
Yeah.
and so the name Stubbs kind of just
I
developed.
kind of gave it to myself, like because I joke. Humor gets me through everything. I can find laughter in the darkest of moments.
That's great.
And it's. I had my doctors because I told my doctor when they cut the big one off. I said, "Yeah, doc, I'm going to get a tattoo on my foot that said 'Gone to Market.'" He was on the floor like the entire time. It was hilarious. Like,
That's great. That I mean, like obviously it's horrible that you had to go through something like that, and obviously still are every day. But the fact that you're able to be add a little bit of yourself and your personality to make it better for you, and kind of embrace the name Stubbs, and now you're kind of just that's you're Stubbs, and I don't know. I just think that's super inspiring and awesome, and you're bringing that that inspiration to us in toy photography. And who was it in the live chat? Biggery Holler says you're a beast. Yes, you are. Such awesome stuff in the live chat. Everyone being so supportive. Awesome. So if you are not already, you must go and follow Stubbs over here on Instagram. Stubbs.Toybox. This morning he was actually at 8.99, and just from my little post on Instagram, whoever went and followed him. Now he's past 900. Whew! He's just like Tony Hawk doing the 900. But he's at 905. So that's awesome. And hopefully what we can do is by the end of the stream get him to 1,000.
yeah.
Wouldn't that be cool? I'm giving it a quick refresh to see what's going up. Okay, it's still at 905. So if you're not following Stubbs already, you gotta be following him, because he's a great guy, and you can obviously, like, in every single one of his shots and the captions and all this, you can feel and see and his personality in each one of the photos, like, so much. Like, it's so apparent. Stubbs, I'm curious, what are some of your goals as a toy photographer, just in general? What are some things as a toy photographer? What are some of your goals?
Just to improve, really. I mean, I don't look at it like becoming a professional or anything. It's always a hobby to me. It's got to be fun. So the more fun I can make it, the better I can get at it. I don't know. That's basically all I'm really looking for. I mean, yeah, it would be great if something could come out of it, but I don't know. I'm just as long as I can continue to have some fun.
Yeah, that's the best attitude. I think, like, yeah, having fun, of course, and doing what you got to do, and still looking to improve and to grow and stuff, but and not worrying about everything else. But hey, if something does come along, cool. Why not? I think that's awesome. That's perfect. Awesome. Look at all there's been like 10 people in the live chat that have just said I'm 906 as your follower. So one of you guys, only one of you guys are 906. So that's awesome. That's awesome. And Tomahawk Toybox said that's why you're the man, Stubbs. And it's true. It's true. So you said one of the goals is to improve and to keep improving. So as far as getting to a place like where you feel improved, and like what's a can you think of like a level or like a specific improvement goal where you want to be? Like, do you want to see your photos to this point? Like, do you have anything like that in mind?
I just want them to get better. I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but like, I mean, if you like, my first shot like is horrible, and I'd like to think that my shots have gotten better over time. So I just want to keep improving my skill. You know.
That's so awesome. And your first shot is not horrible. Your first
Thank
shot
you.
is your first shot. I would say your first shot's way better than my first shot. I don't know if you've seen it, but my first shot is just like, here's a horrible picture of a toy, and that's it. So you see, you with your first shot, you've got creative angles here, you've got tone, you've got all kinds of good stuff. You have choice of like good environment that matches kind of the figure. You've got a whole lot going on in just your first photo than you realize. So
Oh, thank you.
so yeah, that's true. And my first photo, I didn't have any of that. I literally was on like my sidewalk and I was like, here's a toy. This is a photo. This is a photo of a toy, and that's it. Yeah. So one of the things that this is adorable. I didn't notice this going through your page before. This is a great one. This is.
I thought of this for when you did the new challenges coming up.
Yeah.
And you were like, your favorite refreshment. Now mine's coffee, and I was like, oh, I already did a coffee shot.
And what I love about this is I have this little Grogu too, and he does kind of have a little mouth, like it looks like it would fit in his mouth like perfect.
It did. I had to squeeze it a little, but it fit right in there.
I love that. All right, so there's a whole bunch of great stuff here, but right in your bio it says amateur phonographer. So you're primarily shooting with your phone, right?
Right now, yeah.
So
Right now.
Yeah, so your plan is to move on to using the camera. Like how are things going with the phone?
Going with the phone, I'm learning more and more all the time with the phone. Like mine comes with a pro mode, so I can actually get in there and play with the ISO and the shutter speed.
Really?
And yeah, the only thing that I find that is different is you can't adjust like your f-stops. Like so you can't go from like a 1.8 to a whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the only thing on cell phones that I've noticed.
That's still pretty cool though. The fact that you can adjust your shutter and stuff. That's a pretty big deal.
It's cool because even the Pro, it's got like focus peaking. So when you you can do manual focusing, and then everything is outlined in green, so you know it's in focus. So that helps a lot too sometimes. And then the portrait mode comes in handy.
Right. And so you're using a Samsung. What is it?
I got the Note 20 Ultra.
The Note 20 Ultra. I don't know anything about Android, so that sounds awesome. But the fact that you got that pro mode on there, I'm sure is incredibly helpful. And there's a lot of people who are like begging for more phone toy photography, like I don't know, content, I guess. So that's why I really wanted to ask you a lot of stuff like that. So we got Certified Gamer here. He says that he's a phonographer also. So that's awesome. And Lucan over here in the live chat says that's awesome too. So heck yeah.
Yeah, eventually I'll grow up and buy a big boy camera.
I mean, if it's working for you, it's working for you. But I'm sure you would love to mess around with a.
Oh, absolutely! I got to over not this summer. I think it was last summer. My friend has one. I was up at his house in New Hampshire, and I was explaining this to him, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, go take some pictures with my camera." I forgot to take.
And how was that?
It was different, a lot different. He's got a Nikon, an older Nikon. I can't remember what kind.
Oh, okay.
But they came out pretty good.
Was it kind of like overwhelming a little bit to like? It was like whoa.
At first, trying to find everything in the menu, because the menus are like, crazy to go through when you don't know what you're looking for.
Yeah. I completely understand, and it's not even just like going from phone to camera. It's going from one camera to another camera to another camera. Like when I made the switch from like a Canon camera to a Sony recently, I was just like, how do this has a lot more buttons than my last one.
Exactly.
So it's yeah, for sure, everybody. And in the live chat, First Strike Figures, hey man, says love you guys and your phone shots. I can never get it to work. Props to you, Stubbs.
Thank you.
Yeah, seriously. This was your flower shot. I love this one. And oh yeah, this is a great one. So let's see. So I see a lot of Star Wars and a lot of looks like Black Series stuff.
Yeah.
Is that like Star Wars is like your go-to kind of thing?
For now, Star Wars has always been like my foot in the door to geekdom since I've been like 6 years old. So,
Awesome.
I was the guy waiting in line in 1977 to get in to see the original Star Wars.
Awesome. So you saw what did you see the whole original trilogy in theaters?
So, oh yeah, absolutely.
That's so cool.
I saw A New Hope before it was A New Hope.
Right? It was just Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. In a way, I'm like super jealous. I wish I could have been there for that. I didn't even see the Phantom Menace in theaters. I watched it the first time I watched Phantom Menace was on VHS.
Well,
But
yeah, I waited in line for that one too, hoping for something magical.
Are you not a prequel guy? Did you not enjoy
No,
them?
I am. But when I first saw it, I was like, "The hell is this?" But then it grew on me. I mean, it's not my favorite of the prequels, but I enjoy. I respect it more now
That's
than I
good.
did when it first came out. You know what I mean? So
That's good. That's my favorite. My favorite Star Wars movie is The Phantom Menace. I watched
Yeah.
that so many times on that VHS. But yeah, like definitely a change from what yeah, huge change.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure.
how everything went from like dirty and to super clean. It was like, what the hell's that?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh, I love this one. This is the one I have for you in like
Yeah.
the kind of whatever at the end, and I love the use of the blue light. And nice collection of 501st figures.
Yeah, I'm a trooper junkie, so I'm trying to grab as many troopers as I can. I got the same with regular stormtroopers.
Awesome.
I probably got about 5 of them now. I'm building myself up. I got
Nice.
a couple of I just got this one. I got my second one. Can you see it? Jetta guy.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah. The Jedi.
So I got 2 of him. I just got Sergeant Creel, Lieutenant Creel. I can't remember his name, but I just got him not too long ago.
Sweet. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm a trooper junkie, so.
Me too. Honestly, like troopers are they're just like, I don't know. They're so easy to like shoot with too, and like
Yeah.
and sometimes it's cool because you would think that shooting with a helmeted figure could limit your kind of emotion you could bring, but I think it can actually help because if you're like specifically with this Anakin figure, he's got one emotion on his face and that's it. And you kind of if you want to do different emotions, it's harder because he's got that one specific. But the troopers have no emotion at all on their face, so then it kind of gives you it almost like has less of a limitation of that.
If you can get, what I found out is if you can get their body, like their pose to kind of like give the emotion, it works. You know what I mean?
The body
If
language.
you can like make it look like they're laughing, they're laughing. It looks like they're like, oh my god, you know what's going on. So.
Awesome. And so, what do you edit your photos in? Because this one's got a lot of. I mean, you got the lightsaber and everything. What do you use to edit?
If I edit on my phone, I use Snapseed and Lightroom.
Awesome.
If I bring the photos over onto my computer, I edit in GIMP.
Okay, great. And GIMP is free, right?
Yeah.
GIMP is free. Yeah, I've heard like GIMP is like the best free editor.
I'd say it's right up there with Photoshop, to be honest with you.
Wow, awesome. I've never even tried
it. It's missing a few things that Photoshop has, but yeah, it's right up there. It can do pretty much, especially if you're just color correcting, adding like a saber effect.
Cool.
It does the job.
I'm gonna have to.
I used to play with Photoshop a long time ago, and so I can kind of compare them. So yeah, it's not too much different.
Have you watched the on Disney Plus the ILM Light and Magic thing? I was watching. I just finished it finally, but I was blown away on the episode where the one guy,
John Knowles.
Yes, John
Him
Knoll.
and his brother
They created
invented
Photoshop,
Photoshop. Yeah.
almost like on a whim. It
I
wasn't even
remember
like,
that. I remember that when it happened. That all of a sudden, because Knowles worked for ILM, and his brother was like a computer programmer or something. And I remember hearing that they came up with.
crazy.
Crazy.
I was just like, oh my god. And
Even digital editing for how they did, like, if it wasn't for ILM, and that you wouldn't have like the digital video editing.
yeah, it's
You know,
crazy.
all because George got impatient.
Yep. Yeah. Good thing he did. But if you haven't watched that yet, anyone watching this stream, if you have not watched the Disney Plus series Light and Magic yet, oh my
Definitely
gosh,
watch that.
it's so good. There's so much just amazing information that I had no idea, and great footage too. And there's new interviews of George Lucas, so it's like that alone right there is worth it. Just watching.
I love all the stop motion stuff they do.
Yeah, it's so and like there's so much stuff in the original trilogy that I had no idea were stop motion. I thought like some of the speeder stuff in Return of the Jedi, like I never knew that like most of that speeder chase with the scout troopers were stop motion and with miniatures. Like it's amazing.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
The Rancor itself was a puppet.
Yeah, it's just it's yeah. If you haven't watched that, the Jack Lee and stuff says I plan to. I have it on my list. Yeah, dude, go and check it out right away. Definitely. So speaking of Star Wars and Hasbro, I saw this thing today about a thing that Hasbro's doing. I haven't seen it on like the official Hasbro, but Steve Evans, one of the big guys at Hasbro, posted it, and I was like, this is really kind of cool. So I wanted to see so he posted this right here. And he says, so update. So to clarify, Hasbro Spark. So maybe I missed this somewhere, but so basically what it is, and he says, I get approached by lots of people with new ideas for toys and games, but I always have to politely decline hearing about them due to confidentiality, blah, 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 of course. And says, now that that has changed with a new Hasbro website specifically for people with ideas they want to share. I was handed this card this morning, as well as a free Danish to help spread the word. So here I am spreading the word. So check out on the site, and I wish you good fortune. So basically, you can go to spark.hasbro.com for ideas if you have So do you have an idea for a toy, game, or new technology? Share your bright idea and help us create the world's best play experiences. I thought that was pretty.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I was like, that's pretty cool. I'm really curious as to like I thought this would be a lot bigger of a deal. I didn't see it this at all. But yeah, what do you think?
I think that's actually pretty sick. I mean, if somebody sitting at home and comes up with this brilliant idea and they don't know how to get it out there, here you go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you said, it doesn't just have to be an action figure. It's a toy, some new technology, something.
Right.
I mean, a board game even, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think what he was clarifying is like it's not like a request to make a new figure, so it's like can you re-release the this or something, like that, which makes a lot of sense. So
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's really cool, and I'm sure, to play devil's advocate, there could be the people thinking like, oh, okay, so they're not even thinking of their own ideas, they're just gonna mooch off of other people's ideas and make money off of that and not give anybody credit or something, which I guess is not totally unreasonable to think of. That's not what I think at all. I think it's
I'm sure that if somebody gave them a killer idea and they ran with it, that person's getting credit in a big old fat paycheck.
I hope so. Yeah, I would hope so. But what I think it is like people. I'm sure they get comments, ideas all the time for new toys to be made and stuff like that, and sometimes they could get lost and whatever. And I think this means they care about their community and their people, and they legitimately want to hear the fact. They put the money into creating a whole new website for it, and so Yeah, and I think it's cool. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, I'm curious if you guys got any opinions in the live chat. I would love to hear. And you actually know what? So it was it spark.hasbro.com. Let's see, spark.hasbro.com. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but I'm just kind of curious. Whoa, there's Mr. Potato Head. Do you have an idea for a game or toy or new technology? Share your bright idea. Wow, they definitely put some time in this. This is cute. This is awesome. Well, if anybody ever has any ideas, this is a free plug for Hasbro. You're welcome. If anybody has any ideas and you want Hasbro to make something, yeah, you know what? This is how you do it. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
So yeah. All right. So I'm gonna go back here over to actually. So you know what I'm gonna do? I got a bunch of really great questions from Instagram, and let's see. Let me go over to here. No, I'm actually going here. And let's see what some great questions we got. So basically what I did today, and anytime I'll do before I have any of these streams, I'll post about it on Instagram, and I'll put it on my story, and I'll ask, do you have any questions for this guy? Oh, okay. Got any questions for this guy? Throw them in here. And so I got a bunch of really great questions. So let's just get started here. I think you might have probably already talked about this a little bit, but Rod AZ, who's often in the live chat very often, says, when did you start toy photography?
It's I'd say it's going on maybe 2.5 years. I think I posted my first one maybe about 1.5 years ago, but I played around before I actually showed anybody.
Yeah, I think it was let's see.
I don't remember the date here.
Yeah, it was early 2021.
Maybe.
Let me go back here, and it's so cool to see like the first photo and seeing how far you've come. March 10th, 2021. So you've had
about 1.5 years on Instagram, but
on Instagram.
Yeah, like I said, played around a little before I decided to make the jump.
Did you so you were doing it for a little bit already before you started putting it on Instagram? So what made you kind of say I want, like, were you already familiar with the toy posting on Instagram?
I knew what toy photography was. Like it wasn't just like I stumbled across it one day. Like I kind of already knew. Like you talked about it before in one of the other live streams. It's basically product photography.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
It is.
So so I've seen it in the past and stuff like that, and then, like I said, I was laid up for a while with the surgeries and everything like that, and then I came across like people on YouTube. I think like Mitchell Wu is one of them. Plastic
right.
Action. Yours, obviously. And I just said, what the hell? Let's go for it. You know what I mean?
Awesome. Well, I'm glad you did. All right. Well, Rod AZ, my friend, thanks for sending that one in, my friend. And so this is from Jedi Jaren, and said, what's your favorite picture you've ever taken? Favorite pic of all time?
I'd say I got 3. One would be that probe droid shot that I have up there.
Which was that one you said?
The probe droid from Hoth.
Oh yeah. Where's that one?
What?
That one was in the tournament.
Yeah.
Where is it? There it is. Yeah, this is a great one. This I agree. This is one of my favorites of yours too.
It would be either that one, and I think there's one. Go back out to the grid. I think it's right below it. It's the one with the snow trooper and the rebel guy hiding from him.
Yeah, that's really good. There's some storytelling going on in this one.
Yeah,
I love
you
that.
know, and every time it snows, that droid has to come outside with me. So,
Absolutely. I'm the same way. Same way.
and then I think the third would probably be the newest one, that Joker one that I gave you for the
Yeah,
comment.
I agree. This was a great one, and I was really happy that you sent this one over to me because it made for like a perfect thumbnail for the video and everything. So,
Yeah.
tell me. So, talk a little bit about this one. Like, why is it your favorite? Like, was there anything about it you're specifically proud of doing? Like,
I was just happy with the way it came out. To be honest with you, because like lighting, to me, is like my Achilles heel. I always have trouble with lighting, and I thought this one just came out great. I
yeah,
just love the way it came out.
the lighting is probably my favorite thing about it too, and it's like lighting really is just like so hard and it's difficult, but really the best thing to do is just like put the light in like different spots
Yeah,
instead of just like sticking it right in front. Just putting it in like different spots, and this was perfect. So I don't know if there was maybe one light source, but you had like one like over on his right side.
yeah, I did like a bounce light, obviously on the side that's lit up, and I put like just a black foam piece on the other side to block whatever light would bounce around. In the
Awesome.
background I got off of Amazon. It was these I forget what they call them, but they're just like all types of different brick walls and stuff, and it looked like he was sitting in an alleyway or something. So
Nice. Awesome.
that came out pretty cool.
Yeah, well, good. You
So
should be
yeah,
proud.
it worked out.
This is a great one. Yeah, and it's always good to have like, I know I love hearing about like, and asking
Plus,
like.
it's the Joker.
Plus, it's the Joker. But yeah, one of my favorite things is asking about like what your favorite photo is and why. Like, what are you like? What specifically are you? Why are you so proud of this photo? So awesome. So that's really good. You should be. That's a fantastic shot. And there's this one here that I really want to talk about, but I'm not gonna because I'm gonna save it for the
Yeah,
challenge
that's
coming up, which
yeah.
is this Friday. Friday is the beverage
Is it
challenge.
this Friday coming up?
Yeah, it's the August is already basically almost over, which is
Oh,
crazy.
that's right.
So, um, yeah, so crazy. But okay, so let me see here. Let's see what else we got here. So Jedi Jaren, thanks for sending that one in, my friend. Um, let's see. Okay, this is a great one from Johnny from Ganja Wifer says, "What's your favorite brand of figure? Mezco, Hasbro, and why?"
Um, I don't have any Mezco, so I can't say on those. But from what I've seen, they're pretty cool. Mostly what I have is Hasbro. It's most of my collection is Black Series. I have a couple of NECAs. I got a few of their scary movie. I got a Michael Myers, a
Oh,
Sam,
nice.
Ghostface. Then a few odd like I- Diamond Selects, I think. Um, the Black Hole robots. I have Vincent and Bob, but those are pretty cool. I like the Diamond Selects. To be honest, I think Diamond Select puts out a pretty good product.
They do. They really do. Every once in a while, they'll come out with something. I'm like, you go Diamond Select. Have you
Yeah,
ever?
and some McFarlane's too. Obviously, I got some DC characters.
Right.
Like
Like
most of the
Joker and
Justice
stuff.
League. Yeah,
Have you ever
Joker.
tried any of the Star Wars Diamond Selects?
No, I haven't. I've seen a couple on Shop Disney that I want to pick up, but I
Yeah,
just haven't pulled the trigger yet.
yeah. I've been super curious. I have seen a couple. I've seen some of the Stormtroopers before, and I'm always like, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to get started on anything else new, and like, the only reason I would get it is just out of curiosity, just to see what it's
Yeah,
like.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think they're actually a little bigger than
Yeah,
than the Black Series.
yeah.
I think they're more of
It's
a
kind of like
7 inch.
yeah, it's kind of like a McFarlane scale almost
Yeah,
of but it's hard to think that it could be better than the Black Series. They just do a great job, in my opinion.
yeah, yeah,
Are
yeah,
there
yeah. They do.
are there any brands that you don't have any yet that you've wanted to kind of dive into like Mezco or something like that?
I wouldn't mind picking up a few of the Mezcos. I like a lot of their stuff, especially their own stuff, not the IPs that they make, but
Oh,
their
really?
own. Yeah, I really like those. Those look pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's so
Um,
cool that they can be successful without having to worry about, getting intellectual property licenses and stuff like that.
yeah, Hot Toys, but I gotta pay rent, so that's gotta that's kind of
I
weird.
I know that's just a deep dark hole right there. But
Then there's a few like I don't. I'll be honest with you. I know absolutely nothing about anime. Absolutely nothing. But I love the figures, and those can be pretty expensive too. But
definitely.
I wouldn't mind picking up a couple of those. I don't even know who they are, where they're from, but I just like the way they look.
There's a lot of every once in a while at Target. There's a lot more like SH figure arts, like anime figures. I'm seeing in Target for like decent prices, like
Really.
30 something dollars. Like I saw the Naruto figure arts in there for like $35. They've got some Dragon Ball, and I'm just like, wow, that's awesome. Like that's cool.
I have one Dragon Ball. I got a Goku somewhere around here.
Somewhere.
That's the only anime anything I own.
What are those? In the background, I see Batman and Stormtrooper, and they look pretty big. I'm really curious as to what those are.
Yeah, that Batman. That's like the gray and blue Batman from back in the 60s, 70s.
Oh, cool.
Um, you remember when the Warner Brothers stores used to be around?
I do remember Warner Brothers stores. There was
They
one.
used to have a whole Batman section. That's where I grabbed that. That Stormtrooper next to him, I bought like in the 90s sometime. It's actually like a room alarm. He's got a little thing in his chest that like you can put him up in the corner, and if he comes in, he's like, "Hey, hold it, don't stay right
Oh,
there."
that's cool.
And he came with a little Han Solo gun that you can shoot at him, like target practice and stuff.
Awesome. That's so cool, and that's crazy that you bring up Warner Brothers store.
Yeah, those stores disappeared like overnight though. It was a shame because they had some cool stuff in there.
Yeah, I remember. I mean, I was very young, but I remember there being like this cool kind of like tunnel I could crawl in like the back of the store as a kid. I just thought it was really cool. It's cool.
And then there's just Darth Vader's lightsaber.
Sorry, what were we gonna say?
And it said next to him is Darth Vader's lightsaber.
Oh yes, I see it. Nice. Which one is that? One of the Hasbro ones, or is that?
No, it's I got it off of Shop Disney. I don't think it's a Hasbro.
Oh, okay.
It's the Legacy line, I think.
Right. Ooh, that's a nice one.
Yeah, it is. It's actually really nice.
Awesome. All right. Now, one of my next questions was about like collecting stuff, and it's like, do you have any weird things in your collection that you're like super proud of and you're super excited about, but like it's totally super weird and not a lot of people have in their collections?
I don't know if it's considered weird, but I have, like, I'm not really a collector. You know what I mean? I don't have to run out and buy every piece out there. I just buy what's cool. What I find cool. But and this goes way back to like maybe 10 years old, maybe even earlier than that. Remember the Shogun Warriors?
Sorry,
You
the
probably
what?
wouldn't remember.
You cut out.
Shogun Warriors.
No.
They're kind of like the precursor to like maybe like Voltron and stuff like that. Okay. I have the original Godzilla.
Awesome.
He probably stands about 14 inches high. He's got a little lever in the back of his head. It spits out like fire. And I don't know, for some reason, his hand, you can like press a button on his wrist and his hand comes flying out at you.
That's so cool.
So that's probably like one of my oldest toys. And I have the original 12-inch size Star Wars figures that came out in the Kenner lines back in the 1977, 78, whatever. And it's a Darth Vader. And he's like in pristine condition, the cape, and he's still got his lightsaber and everything.
Nice.
Which I actually sent him around the country at one time during the prequel trilogy era. I don't know if anybody remembers the Force.net, the website, the Force.net. They used to
Nope.
have in the message board forums. They had like the fan clubs, like the different fan force they used to call it, or something like that. And I at one point I got to be like the grand poobah of the Boston chapter,
Whoa,
and
cool.
we put
You're
together
legit.
it was supposed to be a world tour, but it would be too expensive to send them overseas. So we did it just around like parts of most of continental America and some. I think he went to Canada real quick, but yeah, it was pretty cool. People would take pictures of him. Like I was like, you can do whatever you want to him, just don't mess him up. If he gets broken or someone scruffs him up or anything, I'm gonna pull a Jay and Silent Bob on your ass and come after you. And everybody would put like jerseys on them from whatever town they're from.
That's
You know what I
so
mean? And
cool.
put them up in front of the stadiums at the movie theater. It was pretty cool. It was a good time.
And he made it back to you safe and sound?
Yeah, I got him. Yeah, I got him back.
Wow,
I
that's
got him
so
back.
cool. He's done more traveling than I have.
Yeah, me too.
That's so awesome. That's a really cool story and like a really cool like kind of history that figure has. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
That's definitely like of all the things you described, you have a ton of cool stuff, but like that's like the coolest thing for sure. That that I can think of, like that's way cooler than anything I have. I don't have anything with that kind of story. That's so awesome. So cool. I'm really glad. Look, I was planning on asking you like what kind of weird stuff you had in your collection, and that's like way cooler than I could have possibly have hoped for.
I don't have any weird thing. I don't think I have anything like weird. It's just old.
Yeah,
You
you've
know,
got a
I
lot of
still have-
cool old stuff.
I still have like where do you go? I don't know where I had them around here somewhere. I used to have like all the original Kenner runs, most of them,
Oh, really?
growing up and everything. I got rid of a lot of them and lost a lot of them and blew up a lot of them back in time, but I still have a few here and there that I held on to. I had a Jawa sitting here a little while ago. I don't know what happened to him. But
Dang. What do you think of
Gotta be right.
the a lot of the new retro stuff that Hasbro's been putting out? Like it looks like the original Kenner line, but it's like new characters. Like
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I mean, they bring back nostalgic memories. You know what I mean? But
yeah, yeah, I think it's cool, and I mean, and that I'm sure for a lot of people who were collecting it back then, like you, I feel like that's like a cool kind of like whoa, that's really awesome.
yeah. I think it's pretty cool. It's good for us old timers. You know what I mean? To give us a little flashback.
Awesome.
But they're even put like the newer characters and stuff out
Yeah, like all like
in that form.
yeah, I think that's awesome, and it's smart too because like whenever they because I love the collecting the Black Series and the 6-inch. Whenever they'll like like for instance like these ones when they came out with these I went nuts because this is my retro for me because Phantom Menace was I was 7 when Phantom Menace came out, so I know. And so when I saw them in like big versions, I was like, "Oh my god! Like this is I have to get." So like, man, nostalgia sells. So it's smart and it's cool. So I'm all for it. Good for you, Hasbro. All right. So next question is from Camera of a Toy, and it says, "Do you have any special tips for toy photography? Do you have any tips that you could give out, and whether they be about the mental health of toy photography or just or your best tip on I don't know, posing or something. What's the best tip you could give?"
Just have fun. Don't rush anything. If you rush it, it's crap. You know what I mean? If you take your time, have some fun with it. Pose the guy up before you even decide what you're gonna do. Whatever, be a kid again. Have some fun.
Awesome. Yeah, and
that's how I look at it.
That's the best.
I usually won't even take a photo. I'll sit here at my desk and I'll just play with a figure for a little while. And then an idea pops in my head.
Yes.
Oh, he would look cool.
That's
with
great.
This guy.
That's a great tip right there.
Guy. Then it's like, ooh, for the background, I could do this. I could do that. I could do this. So
that is
that's the best tip I can give. I'm no pro, so I don't know.
No, that right there is a really great tip. I'll do the same thing. Like, I'll be sitting watching TV or something, and I'll just go over to my shelf and I'll just grab a figure. I just feel like posing somebody, and I'll just mess around and pose it, and then ideas come from there, and then like just messing around and just having fun with it. And don't do it just to like, I need to think of an idea. Just go and do it and have fun and just pose the figure.
Exactly.
That's a really great tip. That's really great. Hey, Mr. Tang's World, how's it going, dude? Thanks for being here, and everyone who's been here. And you know what? Anyone who is watching, thank you so much. If you would just drop a quick like on the video right now, that would be super awesome. And then also, what you should do right after you like it, or even before, actually, is make sure to go right over to right over here, and make sure you're following Stubbs. I'm curious to see where he's at now. He was at 905 last time we looked. So let's get him up. 1,000. 909. All right, we're getting there. He was at.
I'll take it.
So that's another 10 since this morning. That's fantastic. Yeah. Come on, boom. Let's get him up to 1,000. Let's do it. Yeah. All right, so let's see what we got here. That was a really great tip that you brought up. I'm really glad that like just sitting there posing something, you know. So actually, Linda has a really great question. It says, how do you keep your phone steady to get a crisp shot? Mine is always slightly blurry. That's why I prefer my camera. That's a really great question.
I use tripods. I very rarely I'll take a handheld shot, unless I'm just goofing around and say, how would this look? You know, then I'll take a hand. But I have a tall one here. I got a couple of desktop ones here.
Nice.
You know, and then if I have to, I just like I said before, I think I mentioned it before. Like my phone comes with a S Pen, and the S Pen can double as a camera remote.
Oh, really? An S Pen?
So I won't even
I won't
even touch the phone. Yeah.
Is it like a stylus kind of thing?
Yeah, exactly. It's a stylus.
Oh, cool! And that doubles as a remote.
It's got a little button on the side, so because the way these notes are, like you use the pen for like everything, and it's got a little button on the side so you can switch. Like if you're actually writing with it, so you can change it, what type of pen you're using, the eraser, everything. But you can set it up for the phone, for the camera instead.
That's awesome.
To work as a remote. So I set everything up, hit the button for one click for single, and if I hold it down, I can get burst shots.
Wow, that's really great. So, that's like the best.
So that way, never touch the phone unless I have to. Because I know even the slightest little tap on the phone, and it's all over the place.
Yep.
Or set the timer.
Yes.
Set the timer. And when I do have to shoot handheld, what I've noticed, it's kind of like being a sniper out in the woods. Take a deep breath and hold it in. You take the shot.
There you go. All right.
Works for me. So
deep concentration. That is so cool. And Linda's over here saying that is a cool phone. That is like the best phone for photography in general. It's like it comes with
the
that
new
pen.
one too. The new they got rid of the Note line, the idiots, but the new S20, the S22 Ultra is basically the new Note. So that one comes with a stylus pen, and you can do the same thing. But again, cool. you gotta pay rent, so.
Right.
It's
expensive
phone.
It comes with a remote, basically. That's amazing. Oh, hey, Toy Stories, dude! Thanks so much for the super chat, man. Thanks. Thank you so much, dude. And he says, I love that Stubbs has such a resilient attitude. We can all learn a thing or two from you. Always a great attitude. You're awesome. I couldn't agree more. That was literally like the first thing I was saying today when he came on. It was like he's such an inspiration, so inspiring, and so Toy Stories agrees with me. Toy Stories, dude. Thank you so much for that. That's incredibly nice, and also like super nice thing to say, and very true, very true. So Snapphase is also saying with his, he uses a little phone tripod and uses timers. He uses his timer.
Yeah.
The
timer helps a lot.
A lot.
Timer helps a lot.
Yeah. Before I had a remote, I just used my timer all the time, and then then I got the remote, and I was like, wow, this is great. But the timer is great because then you're not touching it. You're
Yeah,
not.
you just tap it, step back, because by the time the timer goes down, the phone or even camera will settle itself. So
Yeah, so good, so good. The less you can touch your camera, the better. It's true. All right, so let's see. And if anybody else has any questions, throw them in the live chat. Linda, that was like a super great question. So thanks for throwing that in. This is a great one. Actually, this is a really good question. So for CJ from CJ Notorious says, what poses do you have a hard time making look legitimate?
running,
Running pose.
running poses, depending on the figure, sometimes even a sitting pose, because depending
Ooh.
on how they mold, like their clothes can get in the way. Like it always made me wonder, like, why wouldn't you just make this more easily sittable?
Yeah.
But sitting can be tough sometimes, and even I know it sounds so simple, but running
Yeah.
definitely running.
Running is tough. Running is one that's just been a whole lot of practice for me, just because I feel like I was always doing that running pose.
Yeah,
But yeah, sitting is so like sitting or kneeling, anything involving something like that.
definitely kneeling. So if you want to get like a trooper down to kneel to like he's gonna shoot,
That
it's
is
like
so hard.
so tough sometimes.
Yeah, and a lot of figures just can't get into like a kneeling like on one knee or something. They're just not made for that. They're just a lot of figures you just can't do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the classic superhero pose where you on one knee, fist on the ground is just like
The pose,
that's almost impossible for a lot of figures.
I tried that with my Iron Man. I almost broke him.
Yeah, yeah. It's I did the same thing with I did a Superman one once, and I had two Supermans, and I specifically used a figure I had that was broken because I needed to pose them like more than the figure allowed me to do. So
I find the McFarlanes are hard to pose in general. Really, because they're really hard sometimes to get them in a really decent, legit pose, instead of making them look kind of just like silly. You know what I mean? That's what I find.
Posing is very hard. It's one thing that can really make or break like a photo, in my opinion. It's like you could have the coolest photo ever, but then if the pose looks off, then it's just like So yeah, totally, I get that. And the one thing I always try to say when I'm trying to help with posing is just use the whole figure. Use every joint possible, because especially like the waist and like a lot of stuff that you wouldn't. First you go to the arms and the legs. Make sure you use everything. If they have a chest swivel or something, use that. Like, use everything. Use everything. And off the shelf pictures is saying that there's a McFarlane posing issue. Sometimes they're difficult, for sure. Especially with those elbows and their knees, they look a little funky for sure.
I bought a Damien raw. I think it's the Injustice one. His leg popped off taking him out of the box.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, I was able to fix it.
Okay, good.
But it was just like I was like, what the? You know what I mean?
Yep. That happened to me too with the Battinson with the Batman. McFarlane. I opened him up and his arm popped out right away.
Oh, I remember that from your video.
Yeah, it happened on video too.
Yeah, I remember that.
But he popped back in. Thank goodness. And Tomahawk Toybox says that wrestlers are hard to pose too. And I don't have a lot of experience with wrestlers, but they don't.
I've never been a wrestling guy. I don't know.
Yeah, they don't. I don't. Mattel, I think, is who makes most of those, and I don't think they've ever been one to create great like posable, like articulated. But hey, every brand's got their thing, for sure.
Oh, definitely.
Cool. So that was a great question. So CJ Notorious, really great question. All right. So these last two questions are really, really good. I'm really excited. So this is from Steven. So from Smarrow Steven. Thanks, dude, for sending this one in. And he says, what was the most recent photo technique you tried that excited you? Anything new that you've tried that got you all excited?
I don't know. Like I said before, like I'm always trying to improve my lighting. So I think some lighting. I think the bouncing the light instead of going directly on the figure, bounce it off like even like a white piece of paper to just have a more subtle lighting on a certain side. Um, no, yeah, I'd say that's about it. You really can't.
Cool. No, that's a huge lighting is one of the number one things. So
Lighting, I'm always trying to work on. So
yeah, awesome. That's great. And with lighting and just about everything else, there's no like one way you have to do something. So
exactly.
So if you think of an idea that you think that will make your photo look great because of the lighting, but you see no one else has done it before, who cares? That maybe you discovered something new and amazing. So there's no one way you have to do something. Daniel Soto in the live chat says, Stubbs, how did you find Sirdork? Mr. Sirdork, how did you find me? I think you said it on YouTube, right?
YouTube, yeah. Like I was saying before, when I
awesome. Thank goodness.
Looking for a hobby to keep my mind, whatever. I came across you and a few other guys and took it from there. Yeah, just found them on YouTube.
That's so awesome.
Just punched in toy photography and there's everybody comes up.
That's what came up. That's so cool. Thank you,
YouTube. I don't remember which video it was. Probably something blowing up, but
probably. Thank you, YouTube.
But, and I was like, oh, he blows shit up with his photos? I gotta try that.
That's so fun. Blowing stuff up. It's just so fun. And actually, you know what? I'm like officially like clean out of fireworks. I'm like really I think I have like one thing left. Like I gotta go and get some new stuff.
I bought sparklers, but I live in a condo and I can't really just. And when I do like an outside shot, I'm usually just right outside on my deck because I have like bushes. I'm actually like underground, and I have most of the bushes you see in outside shots are on my deck, and I can't light them on my deck. I'll be like, yeah. So I'm just like, all right, until I find a spot to go, I can't use those yet.
That's so funny. I lived in an apartment complex too for a few years, and that my main spot to shoot was outside, and I would use fireworks in the parking lot, and I'm sure I really made a lot of people quite angry. And one time, someone yelled at me for they just open up their window and say, "Hey, do you have to do that right now?" And I love the context of that saying, "Do you have to do that right now?" Meaning they're already so used to me doing this. They're like,
yeah, right.
Can't you? I know you do. Like, can you just do your thing some other time? Do you have to do that right now?
They're like, "Oh, he's out there again."
Yeah, I was like, sorry, okay. So after that, I didn't really blow stuff up. After I don't know 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I gotta find a spot I can go and do that. I want to try that so bad.
I would love to see. It's so much fun. I mean, it's fireworks. It's so much fun. Of course, obviously, you gotta be careful and all that. But yeah, it's so much fun. So much fun.
Yeah.
I would say if you have like a friend or someone who has a yard, that's a great. Just if you could do it in the privacy of your own home, that's the best. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so the last question I have is from First Strike Figs, who was here before. I think he might still be here. It says, what's the biggest obstacle you have in toy photography, and how do you approach it?
Lack of props, dioramas.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I have a few that I've picked up here and there. And I use more like backgrounds instead of full dioramas. Like I got a couple of those diorama prints.
Cool.
Those are pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I need more because I get these ideas and I'm like, well, I don't have something to do that with.
Right.
But besides that, anything else can be accomplished or work around.
Yeah.
There's always a way around it.
Always, definitely.
But I gotta I got to build up my prop collections because, like I said, I always come up with ideas where I'm like, oh, if I only had this. Yeah.
Right.
But
Can you think of a specific one, like an idea you had, but then you're like, ah, I can't really do that because I don't have the right environment for that?
yeah, I wanted to do not so much like Tatooine, but just any desert planet town type of thing. With like what do they call it? The moisture evaporators and
Right.
different power generators exploding and stuff like that. Because I want to try the cotton ball explosion thing.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea.
I got a huge bag of cotton balls and I'm like dying to like I gotta get a hot glue gun, but yeah, just stuff like that. You know what I mean? I need props.
Are you handy with making stuff? Because Snapphase is in the live chat saying, "Hey man, build your own walls and props." It's
Yeah,
very rewarding.
I'm not a pro at it, but I know my way around tools and how to make things work if I need to. So yeah, I'm seriously considering start making
Yeah.
my own stuff. I actually want to grab a 3D printer.
Oh yeah.
Try and grab a 3D printer and start printing a bunch of like
Yeah.
backgrounds up and stuff.
I will agree with Snapphase. It is very rewarding because I'm not super good with that kind of thing either, and I've gotten better just by doing it. You know, like painting, customizing, stuff like that. I don't make a whole lot of stuff, but it is really fun. It is really fun, and I've seen a lot of people who primarily are just like toy photo people, and then they start making stuff, and then they just like forget about the toy photography, and they just keep making dioramas because they just love doing that so much.
Yeah. But yeah, I want to try the weathering up a couple of troopers. Like I have one of the older Black Series Trooper ones that came kinda scuffed up with the dick. He's already there, so I figured I'll practice on him. You know,
Yeah,
what I
that's
mean,
a great
before
idea.
I don't want to dirty. I don't want to dirty them all up.
Yeah,
You know, maybe like
just
two or
sometimes.
three, but you know, gotta have the clean ones for the inside the Death Star. You know.
Exactly. I was gonna say if you're ever doing, you gotta have the clean troopers sometimes, and sometimes even like remember that episode in The Mandalorian where Boba Fett's like messing up all these troopers. They were all very clean troopers. They were fresh off the ship, So
When they came at
sometimes,
him.
yeah. But yeah, and so a lot of people are giving some great ideas. So First Strike says Dollar Store, man, so much stuff in there for cheap, and definitely gives some viable workarounds. There is a lot of
Yeah.
great stuff in the Dollar Store,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
So, and I know you said you wanted to do like a Tatooine kind of thing. Do you have any sandy-ish areas near you?
I'm not too far from a couple of beaches if I really wanted to get real sand. But I ordered some of that kinetic sand,
That stuff's great.
because I'm primarily an indoor shooter anyways.
Yeah.
And I have the Space Town from Diorama Prints, so I can set up like a marketplace. Because that was another thing I tried building one time. I actually tried building this, but it went to shit. Like the seller in the market where they have their little where they sell the food and they sell
Right.
the gear.
Yep.
I tried making one, so I'm going to try that again. I can set up a little town square type of thing.
Cool. Have you ever? I've only tried this once with like a Tatooine kind of thing. That kinetic sand can work really well with like if you ever tried using like a digital background, like if you like a computer screen.
Yeah, I do. I do the digiorama stuff all the time.
Oh, awesome!
Too. I got a couple on my feed of digital background.
I'm gonna find one right now. Because yeah, that kinetic sand works really great with that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, there was one time I did like a desert kind of thing with a digital background. And I got sand all over the place. But the kinetic sand is great. It looks like sand, but it's
like
not.
that Falcon one.
Yeah, this is digital background. I love
hate
that.
that
It's
shit.
like a psychedelic hyperspace.
And
I love
another one would think was the Black Widow one with a digital background.
Ooh, this one?
That well, the city, yeah, that is the city's is my computer monitor, but the wall is one of those. I got that off of Amazon from Tomashi Nation, I think.
Oh, okay. Yep, I know exactly
They
what
get
one
they
you're
had a
talking
red
about.
one and a gray one, and I got the red one to look like a brick wall.
Yeah, awesome. All right, mixed media.
But no, the Black Widow
It's
one,
the
I did it for
best.
one
I
of the
think it.
challenges. Her in a garage working on her bike. I think it was the tool challenge.
Yes, 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 yes. Yep, this one. Yeah, this is great. Yeah, and it's always I think the best when if you're ever using a digital background or something. It's always I think best to mix it up. You know,
Yeah,
add a little bit of real stuff in there.
like those crates right next to her there. I got those off Dagobah Customs,
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah,
and there was I couldn't get the glare from one of the lights off the monitor screen, so I had to prop those up in front of it,
that's perfect.
just to block the glare.
Oh, and you got a little BTS too. Awesome. Yeah. So I think the best way to blend everything in together is to use that to mix it
Yeah, it
up with
sets the
stuff.
depth. It helps with the depth of the shot
It
too.
definitely does. Awesome. Yeah, this was a great one. This might be one of my favorites of yours too, actually, because the screen in the background really works well. It really looks like legit. Like
But
you
what
did
I
a
had
really
to
good
do,
job
what I had to
blending that
do though,
together.
because what I had to do though, like I was saying before, with the phone, with the phone, you can't really adjust your f stops.
Right. Right.
So I had to bring the image into GIMP and give it a slight blur,
Oh, that's really
and then
smart.
and
I've
then bring
never
it
thought
back
of that.
onto the screen. Yeah, give like a 1 or 2 on a Gaussian blur.
That's so smart. So you wow. So you literally you had the image already and you edited the background and you made it a little bit
Yeah,
blurry. That's so
yeah,
smart. I never
yeah, because
thought about
it
that.
just didn't look right, you know, in, in focus. I was like, I got to blur that up a little. So I opened GIMP, threw it in, and blurred it up.
That's a really great tip right there. Anyone for using digital backgrounds, editing the background the way you need it. That's freaking brilliant. I've never thought about that. That's so smart. And also, Snapphase is saying too that it's like if you can download different prints and print them out and use those as backdrops too. Get it
Yes,
printed on a big card.
yes,
That's really smart. And off the shelf picture says if you have the room, set up a table outside with a larger piece of plywood, cover that in play sand, and you can do a desert setting. Play with sand is super cheap and oh yeah, that's smart. That's
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And
That's
then
a good idea
you
too.
can have the sky as the background and everything with the sand. That's very smart. And then you can get that natural sunlight,
Yeah,
which works nice with desert stuff for sure. That's so awesome. And Kaya says, I love all the tips and tricks on these streams. Yes. Awesome, Kaya. That's amazing. So cool. And Certified Gamer says, I have a mini desert in my background, or in my backyard. Well,
yeah,
that's
nice.
awesome. Like, that's, I think we're all kind of a little bit jealous of that.
Yeah.
So that was the last question I got from Instagram. And if anyone has any other questions, throw them on in the live chat. I would absolutely love to ask Stubbs. I'm sure he would be more than happy to answer for sure. So okay, I have an interesting question. So since you got started in toy photography, well, especially this is a two-part question. So since you got started in toy photography, what's your favorite part about the whole thing? And this can be about like favorite part about the community, favorite part about shooting. Like, what's your favorite thing? Like, just about, if you could pick one thing about the whole thing, what's your favorite?
I would definitely have to say the community.
Oh,
Um,
that's great.
Out of any online community that I've ever joined or hooked up with, seems to be the most open, more friendliest.
I
Like
agree.
people are actually willing to like talk and give you tips and help you out. Most people, other communities are just like, yeah, okay, whatever. But the toy photography community just seems to be just so warm and welcoming. Everybody's there for each other. You know what I mean?
So
Just
awesome.
that's all. That's what I get out of it, anyways.
That's so
I haven't
amazing.
met anybody. I haven't talked to anybody yet that's been a dick.
That's great.
So
That's great.
everybody seems so cool.
Very rare. Very rare.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's something you don't like then, if any, your least favorite thing, or something you don't like so much, just in general. Not, I don't mean about the community, but just about toy photography as a whole. Is there anything that you don't like so much?
That I don't have enough money to buy more toys.
It is definitely a very expensive hobby that can.
It gets to be, yeah. I could see why.
And it only gets worse the more you go. Because
I actually have to pull myself back sometimes. Like I said before, I'm not a collector by any like meaning of the word. I just buy what I think is cool. But I find a lot of things cool. So it's starting to like get up there. So, but yeah, besides, I can't really see anything that I dislike about it.
the expensiveness.
Like I said, it's fun. You're using your own imagination. It's creative. You know what I mean? It's your art. So who cares if somebody else doesn't like it? You're doing it for yourself, anyways.
I love that.
You know what I mean?
Should quote that.
I mean, I'm
put that
sure.
on the wall. It's your art. Who cares if somebody else doesn't like it?
I'm sure when it was painted, there was 1,000 people who hated the Mona Lisa.
Yeah,
You know what I
bet
mean?
you you're right.
So have fun. Just knock yourself out. Who cares what everybody thinks?
That's
Just
amazing.
do it.
It's your art. From Stubbs himself, it's your art. Who cares if someone else doesn't like it? I love that. I love that.
Put it on a t-shirt.
Honestly, yeah, that is really great. That's really, really great. But a lot of people seem to agree with you that, yeah, it's an expensive hobby, and there are some hobbies that are more expensive.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But this one can get more, especially if you're diving into dioramas, stuff like that too. And yeah, definitely some. And Linda says, totally agree. I spend more money on figures than anything else. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Samesies. I have been getting better though.
They're only going up. The
Yeah.
price will only keep going up.
They're only going up. All right, so let's see here. Okay, so of all of the intellectual properties and your favorite characters out there that you love, but they don't have in the figure form yet. What is a figure we need? What's a character we don't have in a figure yet that we need in a figure?
You know, I've been thinking about this question since you started doing these interviews because you ask everybody this question.
I love this question.
And every time I think of somebody, there's a figure. So I can't really think of any like main characters. But for me, I like the obscure characters.
Okay.
The background guys. I think we need like every alien from the cantina. Every like little vagabond you see walking down the street. You know what I mean? From no matter what movie or whatever. Those are the things that I like. The background characters that you can bring, because I like to do a scene when I take a shot. Sometimes I like to make a whole scene, and if you could put like different aliens over here, and little nobodies just talking in the corner and stuff, that's what I like. I know it's ridiculous, but I think we need like ordinary people.
Yeah, no, I love that answer.
You know?
I think that's really like civilians or even just random aliens to make your own kind of cantina.
Especially the aliens.
That's so cool. Yeah.
And I mean, they're always coming up with new aliens too. And
yeah.
Why not? You know.
That's such a great answer. Awesome. See, that's one of the reasons why I love asking that question, because
because I always thought, I was like, that's a pretty good question. Who would I love to see?
Yeah.
And I go, oh, there's a figure. Oh, there's a figure.
Awesome. And there's a lot of great. So Snapphase was saying a Dracula from the Bram Stoker movie. I'm not sure. Oh, and Kaya said,
I think they actually did make him.
Oh, really?
But when the movie came out. You may be able to find it like eBay or something.
All right, Snapface.
But I think they did have, because I remember. I think it might not have been an action figure. I think it was more like a doll.
Oh, okay.
Like a Barbie size type of thing, maybe a little smaller. But because I remember him in the tuxedo with the top hat when he met Winona Ryder in London. when he first saw her in London. I love that movie so much.
I've never seen it.
I agree with them. I agree. I'd love to see. I'd love to see every version of Dracula from that movie.
Well,
in
there
a
you go,
NECA
Snap.
form. That would be great.
Awesome. Yeah, there
But
you go.
I think
Snap.
they did make a couple of those Draculas, but it's been a long time.
We need a nice, fresh new one.
Yeah.
And Kaya says more victims. I'm sure a lot of the horror fans would.
Yeah. I think that too. Like I got a Michael Myers dying to stab somebody, but I don't want him stabbing Chewbacca. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
If you could just give me some punk kid with a scared look on his face and blood all over him.
Yeah, I'm sure if Hasbro or NECA or somebody came out with like a civilians pack, with just like 4 figures of just like basic looking, with just like a couple basic props too to go with them.
Yeah.
And you could switch their heads around, universally
that would be great.
Amongst
that would be great.
That'd be a really great idea, and that would sell. That's something NECA would do.
Yeah, that would definitely be a NECA thing.
Yeah,
they do really great horror dolls. So.
That's really good. Awesome. All right. Okay. So then my other question too, which will probably end up being my last question. Last question would be, where do you see yourself as a toy photographer in 5 years from now?
Same as I'm doing now, having fun.
Cool. So same old.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like I said before, improve my skill, better shots, but just want to have some fun.
Awesome. That's great.
Have some fun.
That's a great
kid
goal.
all over again.
That's a great goal. And so, like lightings, some of the things.
Yeah,
that,
I want my lighting to I don't have to think about it so much. I just know, I would look cool like this. Instead of going, how about over here?
Awesome.
Over here.
Well, you're absolutely on the right track because everything you're putting out is great, and I love being able to see your personality in not only photos and the captions that you could put along with them too. I think are incredibly complimentary. Oh, speaking of the Hasbro Spark thing, that's what we need to send in to Hasbro is the idea for the civilian pack.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Tomahawk.Toybox said that. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Well, hey, maybe we should all do it, and then maybe they'll be like, all right, there's something here.
More aliens and more civilians.
Cool. All right, man. Well, anything else you want to add in? Anything you want to plug or anything before we call it tonight?
No, I'm good. Everything went cool.
Well, if you're not already following Stubbs, please do. Stubbs.Toybox right here. So we got him up to 909. Did we get him any higher up? 910.
910.
We're at 910.
I think everybody watching's already following me.
Well, that's awesome. Well, still, if you're watching this later on, go and head over there. And if you have already, thank you. You guys are awesome. But basically, sorry, I'm still getting used to my little new buttons here that I have. But no, dude, Stubbs, thank you so much for coming on and for making this an awesome show and for giving us some great inspiration and some really awesome tips and just being awesome and having a great time with me tonight because I had a great time.
Hey, my pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
Cool. All right. Well, everyone who's watching, thank you so much and have a great night and I'll see you guys soon. This Friday is the stream for the challenge stream for the beverage, which is going to be great, and so we'll find out next month's theme and all that stuff, and I have some other fun announcements too coming out this week, so just make sure to stay tuned on YouTube here and on Instagram as well. All right, well, thanks so much, and everyone have a great night.
See y'all later.